Hey everybody, I'm back for part 2 of my vlog, the No Shame Summer. And there's just a few things I didn't get to this morning that I wanted to talk about really quick before I forget them. So first of all, my videos are going to be non-edited. I'm just doing this off my iPhone. I don't have any fancy camera or anything, and I don't know how to edit videos. So if I say a lot, if these are lengthy, because I don't know what to say sometimes. Also, I kind of think about what I want to say, but I don't like practice or anything. So I'm sorry if these are like not super smooth and maybe are lengthy at parts or I repeat myself a lot. But I just want to get a few more things out tonight that I didn't get to say earlier because Silas woke up from his nap. So right now Silas is taking a bath upstairs with Jordan. We're at Jordan's mom's house, and so she and Jordan are giving Silas a bath because we just stayed at Famous Dave's. It was super good. So a couple things I didn't get to say this morning that I wanted to say, besides what I just said. First of all, parents who shame is kind of what I talked about this morning. Moms mostly who shame each other. But I want to talk about non-parents who shame. And this is a little bit funny to me because before I was a parent, when I was pregnant. First of all, before I got pregnant, I didn't even think I ever wanted to be a mom. I never really had thought about it, and I kind of was, just living life and not really thinking about having kids. Didn't really think I wanted kids in the future. And then I got pregnant, and my whole life obviously changed. And one thing you think about when you're pregnant is what you're going to do when you are a parent. And there's the total list of, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to do that. I was totally, it was so funny because I was like, I'm not going to have any pain meds when I have my kid. And I ended up having an epidural. I was in labor for a really long time, and it is super painful. And I didn't know because I had never done it, but I was like, I'm not going to have pain meds. I'm going to totally do it natural. People did it natural for years. And I just ended up not, and I ended up having an epidural. So that's just an example. I also said, I'm never going to let my kid watch TV. I'm never going to not breastfeed, all these things. And like I explained in part 1 of my vlog was that I actually had to give up on breastfeeding. And I do let my kid watch TV. It doesn't really keep him occupied. He's not really into it. He's a super active kid. But if it did work, I definitely would use TV as a babysitter for half an hour just so I could shower. Because a lot of moms know that it's hard to even find time to shower sometimes. So the non-parent shaming, life is so unpredictable anyways, but when you're a parent, there's just no predictable at all in life. And so I think that people who don't have kids and say, when I'm a parent, this is what I'm going to do, or people who are pregnant for the first time and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. There's no planning. Like, you think you're going to plan it out. You think you're going to be perfect. You think you're totally ready. No one's ever ready. No one has everything perfectly planned out. And all moms know that. All moms know, like, things are not going to go according to plan all the time or ever. So the non-parent shaming thing is the thing I want to get rid of. Just because you don't know until you're there. You don't. It's so hard. It's so hard to know what you're going to do when you're a parent until you are one. So that's one thing I wanted to touch on. Another thing I wanted to touch on was totally just commending, because I have Jordan in my life, and I'm super lucky to have him. And he is not Silas's biological father. But he wakes up every single day and chooses to be there for Silas, chooses to help with Silas, chooses to put Silas to bed, chooses to give Silas a bath, chooses to feed Silas. He wakes up and chooses every single day to do that, even though it's not biologically his responsibility. I just totally commend any men or women who take on children that aren't theirs. And I kind of speak from this on both ends because I have dated someone with a kid previously when I didn't have a kid, and now I'm dating someone who doesn't have kids, but totally takes Silas on as his own. So I do want to talk about, in a later vlog, when I've thought about it more, dating with children and what it's like to hear things. This is another way of shaming, I think, is I hear a lot of things like, well, I never would date someone with kids and blah, blah, blah. But I want to talk about that later in a blog. But I just totally want to get that out there. Any men or women out there that are raising children that are not biologically theirs, I just completely commend you, because it's hard to raise your kids anyways. It's hard to raise kids. It's hard to have your own kids, but I cannot imagine, you know, and I did date someone with a kid, but it wasn't to the point of like where Jordan is in our lives. It was more casual, and I was more like, yeah, I babysat once in a while, but she had a really good mother. The child whose father I was dating, you know, she had a mom, and she knew who her mom was and everything, but parents that totally just take on someone else's child and all the responsibilities of someone else's child, I just want to say, like, totally props to you. It's totally such a huge thing that people do, and I don't think that they are recognized enough. So I just want to put that out there, that I think that that is amazing, and I commend all of you that do that, and that is awesome. Step parents out there, parents who take on kids, adoptive parents, everything like that, that is so amazing. You choose every day to take care of a kid that isn't biologically yours, and that is amazing, and I did want to comment on that, and I didn't get a chance to do that earlier. So those are the few things I wanted to say earlier that I didn't get to say. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to be doing these vlogs more often because I am a loudmouth and I have a lot to say. And I think this is a really super serious topic about the shaming each other, about the mom shaming, and about the parent shaming in general, and about just kind of being more supportive of each other, nicer, and just not so mean to each other. Just because you get to hide on social media behind a computer screen or a phone screen does not mean you should just say everything that's on your mind. We definitely need to think before we post, and think before we say things about others, because we don't know what other situation is like. So those are the things I wanted to say earlier. I am going to continue to do these posts throughout the summer, and we'll kind of just see where it goes from here. But definitely, you know, feel free to share these and follow me further through the summer. So no shame summer. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen, all parents and all non-parents. We can do this. We can stop the shaming. This generation, our generation, everybody, just let's stop the shaming. And those are the things I want to say earlier that I didn't get to. And so no shame summer. Let's do this. Here we go.